All right, so today I was going to do breakout rooms and hear how your pieces are going. Is Luda working today?
No, I guess she was practicing. Luda, are you
Oh,
signing in? Luda. She probably went to the restroom or something.
okay.
But she's going to sign in. And
Okay.
in fact, when you break out with me, I'll go into Luda
Okay.
because I'll just go over to where the piano is. Right now,
Yeah,
I'm in the other room.
sounds good. All right. I wanted to pick up. Does anybody remember what we sight read yesterday? I think we were in Unit 6, weren't we?
Yeah, okay. So we're
There
back
we go.
meeting.
Okay, so I wanted to pick up where we were yesterday and do a little bit more sight reading. I believe last time we did a little sight reading from Unit 6. You remember we went over the RCM checklist of what to look for before we sight read a piece?
Let me pull it back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Preview the music. Look for tonality and key signature. What are your opening and closing notes? Your scale or chord patterns, etc. That whole list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did number. What did we do yesterday? I can't remember what we sight read yesterday.
6-27.
6-27? Okay.
162, 627.
Okay. So let's look at 6-28 today. Okay, tell me. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Let me share my screen. Tell me everything you notice about 6.28.
Yeah,
Say that one more time. You broke up just a little.
TFD.
Key of D. Good job.
I forget the name of that right hand pattern. Sorry, left hand pattern, but it's familiar.
Okay, so we have a wall space,
Okay, that's right.
like a boom chuck chuck.
Da, 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 da,
Yep,
da.
good. And that tips off our time signature.
Moderator.
3-4 gives us the waltz, right? Good. Can you be even more specific about the bass, Benjamin? As far as harmony goes, what's going on with harmony?
We start on the tonic.
Good.
So it's a tonic, tonic, 4, 4, tonic, 5, and tonic.
Good. So we're just doing our chord progression pattern from page 170.
Mm-hmm.
But in a boom chuck chuck. Very good.
But okay, the piece starts. Oh, let me close my door. So the piece starts on A, the fifth. So does that mean something?
It does mean something. It probably means not what you were hoping it meant.
I don't know
Normally,
what. I'm just asking because yesterday.
yeah.
It's D
No,
or minor.
sometimes, Edison, our finger pattern matches our key, and sometimes it doesn't. In this situation, it does not, because we're in D major. But if we were in a D major 5-finger pattern, we would have our pinky on A and our thumb on D. But this, we put our 4 on A. Why would they do that?
So it's
It's not minor, because we start on D and we end on D. If we were in minor, we would start and end on B.
okay.
We switch hand positions. Our first real hand position switch is right here. They should have given us our opening finger number. That's not true. We have a hand position here because we skipped from an F sharp on a 2 to a D on a 1. So what happens, Edison, is right here we go outside our D major 5-finger pattern to the B.
Well, that isn't what I meant.
Okay. What did you mean?
Okay, because the finger pattern is just, to be able to play it easy.
Uh-huh.
But what I meant was like yesterday you said it started in G, so that made it a minor. I mean, yeah. Well, no, wait a minute. Somehow now I'm confused.
Okay.
No, because yesterday it started in G. I guess it was talking about something on a different day.
Yeah.
Where it didn't start like yesterday's reading started on G and it was in G. But today's reading starts on A.
Yes.
But it was in D. So I didn't know if that had any significance. I just noticed that A happens to be the 5th, and that means things, but I didn't mean anything in telling us about this, the way we play this.
Okay, good. Yeah, so we could start on tonic, but in this case we don't. You're absolutely right. We start on the dominant. So just tonal melodic variety. We don't always have to start on do. You're right. So we have 6 notes that we got to worry about in the right hand. And so we do leave the 5-finger pattern, and so they just start us out on a 4 right off the bat out of our 5-finger pattern to be able to get to this B over here, to be able to put our 5 on that B. All right, we talked a little bit about the harmony. Let's talk about phrases. Do we have phrases?
Yes.
2 long phrases of 4 measures each. Dynamics.
It's mezzo forte.
So medium loud followed by soft. We have a moderate tempo. Okay, let's tap our rhythm. Our left hand's not bad. Pi, 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 pi. The right hand rhythm is a lot trickier. Why?
Okay, dotted quarters. We've got
Those-
8s. We have half notes and quarter notes, and
Those pi apps.
Yeah.
What am I talking about when I say pi apps? Our dotted quarter is a pi app. Pi, apple, apple, pie, 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 pie. Second line. Pie, apple, apple, pie, 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 pi. What did you notice in the right hand? See if you noticed what I noticed.
Well, if you count it a little bit differently, like if you just counted 6, 1, 2, 3, then 1, then 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 5, 6, you could match it that way.
Where would you? I don't know how you would do that.
Well, if I went 1, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6.
Yeah, I
1,
guess you
2, 3,
could.
4, 5, 6.
To me, it would be harder though, because here you would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It doesn't really divide evenly on strong and weak beats is the problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To me, that's a little bit harder.
I don't know about strong and weak beats. I was just trying to see how I could keep my count.
Yeah.
1 and 3 and 1, 3.
Because the first note in the second measure
Mm-hmm.
has like 4 beats to it.
If you count it in 6, it does, but if you count it in 3, it only has 2. The
If you
thing that
count
I
it-
wanted you to recognize is this tie at the end. You
Takes
can-
up 2 whole measures.
2 whole measures, 6 whole counts. So, one good thing to do is to tap the rhythm, and I like to cross my arms so that I'm not backwards for you guys. 1, 2. But if you guys don't cross your arms, it's easier because then you're going to match my arms. 1, 2, 3. Pie, apple, apple, pie, 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 apple, apple, pie, 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 off. Does that make sense?
No,
No?
I was like
Yes.
I was completely lost. But when I did it with 6 counts, it was like easy.
Okay. Well, you can count it in 6 if you'd like. I'm not going to teach it that way, but you can count it that way. That's fine.
Because I can't get this pie, apple, pie,
Okay.
because
Let me draw it a different way and see if it helps you. If I've got a quarter note and I add a dot to it and it's followed by an 8th note, that's the same thing as a quarter note followed by 2 8th notes with a tie. So it's a pie, an app, and a pole. But I'm not going to play a new note for the app because it's tied. So that's the same thing here. We get the pie for the note, the app for the dot, and the pole for the second 8th note. I don't know if seeing that, drawn that way helps you. So what I like to do is I like to throw my hands outwards on the app so I'm not late for the pole. Pie, apple, apple, pie, pie.
Yeah.
Pie.
This
Go ahead.
this help me because you write which letter going with which note.
Yeah. Excellent. So both measure 1 and measure 5 have the pi app. Pi, apple, apple, pie, 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 apple, apple, pie, 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 pie.
So you, but I still don't get it. Your pi is just two parts to a beat,
No, pi is your quarter note.
right?
Pi, 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 pi. This is pi, apple, apple, pie, 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 apple, apple, pie, 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 pie. Did that help?
One more time when it's 8 quarters.
One more time when it's
It's measure 5.
measure 5's rhythm, right hand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be pie, apple, apple.
Okay.
So I like to clap for the pie, pie, and then on the app, I throw my hands up. Pie, apple, apple. So I'm not late. Now, if I took that out, and let's say that I took this rhythm right here, and I undid the tie, it would be pie, apple, apple. Pie, apple, apple. But because there's the dot or the tie, pie, apple, apple. I don't clap the app.
Remind me, what were the words for 16th notes?
Huckleberry.
Huckleberry, okay.
So the half note in measure 2, that's pi, pi,
Yes, it is.
pi, pi, apple. No, pi, 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 and then pi again.
You got it.
But you only hit one of the pies, the first one and then the third one.
Correct, because you're only going to play the first one and the third one. You're absolutely right.
So your pies are the length of 2, and your pull are lengths of 1.
Yep. Apple is dividing the beat into 2.
Okay.
I do have a rhythm sheet. I don't know if it's on Canvas or not.
So what I did is exactly the same thing.
If you post it, it will be very good.
If you do a Google search for Brandon Bascom rhythm, you'll find my PDF of it. But I can post it on Canvas when I remember to do it during an office hour. Yeah, so what you're doing, Edison, is you're counting the half note value or the eighth note value. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
5, 6, with 1 and 2 and 3 and. But
Yeah,
what I like to do, Edison, is I like to remove numbers from the equation, and here's why. I like to remove numbers from the counting because in my right hand, I have a finger number. And in my left hand, I have a finger number.
Okay.
And then with counting numbers, I have another number. So I have 3 different numbers I've got to keep track of, and it just gets to be number overload. So I like to take numbers completely out and replace it with words, because that's what we learn first as children, is learning words. And I like to use words that are evenly syllabic so that they match the length of the notes. So that's why I use the words that I use.
Okay. So now it's less confusing for me. It just, you're using pi because it's 3/4. You're using pi as kind of like 2/8 beats. Whereas if it was like 4/4, pi would just be 1 beat. Pi, pi, pi.
Well, if the bottom number's 4, whatever the beat is going to be a pi. So if the bottom number's 4 and the top number's 3, we're going to have 3 pi's per beat, or per measure, like we do here. Pi, pi, pi. If the top number was 4 and the bottom number was 4, we would have 4 pi's per measure. Pi, 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 like we do up here. Pi, 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 pi.
Yeah, that's what I said, but in
Yeah.
different words.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But because your pi represents a different length of time, whether it's 4/4 or 3/4.
My pi represents the beat, the pulse. Yep. All right. So
Okay, yeah, now I get it, and I probably could do the tapping now that I understand that.
okay.
Because before I just thought of the pi as being the quarter note. But
So
that
on your
doesn't-
own, do some tapping and also do some shadow playing.
What means shadow play?
Shadow playing is touching the keys but not letting it make any noise.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's also called ghost playing.
Okay, I'm good.
All right, try sight reading it on your own, and then what I will do is I'll play it once, and then you'll hear how it went. You can play along with me if you'd like, but you could also play back the video recording, so you'll have it there as well. Or I know some of you don't have keyboards. A couple of you are not in rooms with keyboards right now, so you can try it again later and have the answer on the video. Now, both sharps are played. Both the F sharp and the C sharp are played. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play it. One, two, three, here I go. How did you do?
Decent enough. My
Okay.
biggest problem personally is hitting in measure 3 to 4, playing the same key with 2 different fingers and having to move. Just feels weird.
Keeping your pinky here, but changing your chord.
No. In the right hand,
Uh-huh.
the shifting my 3 to my 4. It just feels weird to play the same key with 2 different fingers. You know.
Oh. Oh, you're talking here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just feels strange.
Yeah, that is challenging. Meanwhile, still trying to play it legato. It's impossible, actually. It's impossible to play it truly legato. There's got to be a break there. Yeah, I see it. I was worried about you guys not getting the C sharp right here.
Oh, really? Yes.
Because that's the only C sharp in the whole piece. And it's outside of the 5-finger pattern of D. Okay, so hopefully we're feeling a little more comfortable doing sight reading. I'd like to do more sight reading in the future. We can do breakout rooms again. That's one of our badges, is to get 6 sight reading examples done. But that's all for today. I hope you have a good weekend. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Remember who you were and what you stood for, and we'll see you on Monday.
Then, thank you.
You're welcome.
See you all next week.
Mhm.